Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Megan, and I'm so excited because The Sims 4 just released Vampires. Well, it's gonna be released tomorrow, but thank you so much to EA for sending me early access to this game so that I could share it with you guys today. Now, today's an exciting day because today I am doing a Create a Sim to the family I am going to be doing my Let's Play with, and then I am starting my Let's Play today at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's Texas time. I know that this dates this video a little bit, but there's gonna be a live stream today as well. So I'm super excited, and I hope that you guys are able to enjoy this Create a Sim that I made. I'm going to be explaining my thought process and kind of like why I chose what I chose, because I feel like I came up with a pretty interesting story for this series. So hang tight and let's get into it. Alright guys, so I am of course super excited for Vampires. Vampires have been in pretty much every single Sims game, at least The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. I think in like The Sims 1 they just had making magic, or you could be like a wizard and stuff. But this is the first supernatural element, besides the ghosts, that we have had with the Sims 4 series. So I'm really excited because it seems like they did do a lot of fine tuning for the vampires. Now, from my experience, you can't just change them to a vampire. You have to add them like you add an alien. You have to click like add new sim, add vampire. Like, so if you work really hard on a sim and then want to transfer them into a vampire, I don't think that you can. And if there is a way, please let me know how, because I don't know how. So this first sim I am working on, her name is going to be Isabelle. Now, the story that I wanted to create was maybe like a younger teenager, which is her. Right now she's a young adult, I haven't aged her down yet. But a younger teenager sim who wants to like break the mold of her traditional vampire family. So I wanted to dress her up in like pastels, kind of like she's a pastel goth, as opposed to the rest of the family, which are more gothic, because it is a vampire look, vampire pack and stuff like that. You guys might be questioning why I just took off her fangs, and that is because the vampire sims have a dark form and a regular form, and they change into their dark form whenever they're like feeding, vampire sparring, like just doing vampire magic, like just vampire stuff. So I wanted to give the teenager, which is Isabelle, a everyday look that didn't like scream, this is a vampire, because she is trying to break the traditional norms of the stigmas that come with vampires. So for example, like I made her a vegetarian and just an overall like good, sweet sim. You guys will see whenever I get to the rest of her family that they are more traditional, and even whenever her little brother comes along, he is also kind of reminding me of like the Addams Family little boy that's in that. Or is there a little boy that's in that? I know that there's Wednesday, who's like the little girl, but regardless, this is, I don't know. I just had trouble working on Isabelle's look, so as you can see, I changed it many times, and I finally was able to settle. But I am so excited for this vampire pack. The controls are a little confusing to it, I'm not gonna lie. I did like dip my toe into it a little bit because I didn't want to get on the live stream later and discover that I didn't know how to do anything and embarrass myself. So I kind of just like looked around and saw what I could do. I have not played with this family yet. I made a completely random different family. So I do still have to build them a house and stuff, but this is just me going through the works of seriously trying to figure out what I was gonna do with Isabelle. It took me quite a while. But then I found out I wanted to use this black tank top. I thought that that was pretty cute and pretty modern. And then now we are working on her dark form. This is where Isabelle grows her fangs and, you know, has the markings on her face. Kind of looks more like a real vampire, like she's about to suck your blood or fight you or stuff like that. And I really wanted to give her the dress from City Living. Like I was thinking about this dress, which is nice, but I mostly think that like I really wanted to utilize the City Living dress because it can kind of be vampiric. Is that even how you say that word? Probably not, but you know. And then I turned her hair black because I figured maybe in her dark form her hair turns black, and then she just has like a couple little purple accents here and there. Overall, I think that Isabelle is a beautiful sim, and she's going to be the main character in our series. Now, I'm not really sure about the vampire aging up process. I'm gonna have to look at that because I know that they live like eternally. So I don't know if like she's gonna be a vampire or a teenager forever. If she does, that would kind of suck because she wouldn't be able to like get a job or like do any of the young adult things. She would be very limited because teenagers, as you guys know, in The Sims 4 are pretty limited. Now, these two necklaces are super cute. They were added with The Sims. I know they're already off the screen, but I was really excited to use them, okay? Next, we are gonna make her little brother. Now, he was a no-brainer. It was super easy to make this sim. One, I didn't really have a lot of options with the new vampire pack. It didn't come with much. It came with like one bodysuit. And then the eyes, as you can see, I go back and forth a lot between the dark mode and the regular mode because I just want to make them vampires off the bat, but then I decide, well, no, they have to look normal, and then in their dark mode they turn more into vampires. But as the parents become like more traditional and maybe they don't have to go into public a lot, they do look more like vampires just from the straight up looks of them. So I was messing around with the little brother. I cannot remember what I named him. I think his name is Dante. I just thought that that was a perfect name, and it was weird because I randomized his name and it just so happened to be Dante. Now, I wanted to give you guys a disclaimer. I'm not going to be going and like doing the formal athletic sleep, everything of that, like with each sim. That took so long for me to figure out. I just wanted you guys to see the base family, but I did go back and do that. So I wanted to make Dante like a whiz kid, kind of like he knows it all and is maybe just like a little annoying younger brother. And now I am working on the mother, the lovely mother who is nothing but poise and grace. I kind of wanted to give her this hair. This hair reminds me of like Japanese culture or Asian culture. Maybe, yeah, probably Japanese, like a geisha or something like that. So I was really excited to use this hair, and I thought that it was just wonderful. And there I was like double checking her nose because I thought her nose looked a little strange. But the mom was also pretty easy to do, as well as the dad. So we're not going to run into too many problems here. But I was like, I wanted the mom to look kind of kind-hearted, like her face is round. She looks like she would be kind of approachable, like if she was your mom, and probably not like a random stranger on the street, because you know she still is a vampire. So I thought that she kind of had a more welcoming face. Whenever we get to that, you'll see that I did like try to make him more hardened looking, and it was really hard because every time we took like the family portrait, he would like throw his arms up like, hey guys, I'm here, even though he's like gloomy and like serious and he has like his furrowed brows and stuff. So now we are just working on mom's dark form. I cannot remember her name at the moment, but we'll get there when we get there. And I was messing with some of this really extreme makeup. I found that I'm not really a big fan of the really extreme makeup. I just don't really like it that much. I think it's too harsh even for vampires. Maybe that's more like of a rock star look in my opinion, like Kiss or something. So as you can see, I am still just like messing with her makeup, seeing what the best strategy is. I want to give the vampires like really dark lips whenever they're sucking your blood or fighting you, and they always do this little hissing motion, which I think is really funny. So I gave her like the new vampiric aspiration to like want a big vampire family, and then she's a snob, she is a romantic, and she is gloomy. Now I made her like a romantic, not because like she wants like a ton of like love from everybody, but you know, old romanticism is like fantasy. In a way, that was like a way to describe it. It's like if you were a romantic, you just kind of lived in a fantasy world, and I thought that that was very fitting for a vampire. So I gave her this nudie walk because she is going to be sort of like that. I gave Isabelle the bouncy walk because, you know, she is a pretty happy free spirit. Next, we are going to be working on Isabelle's father, which, like I said, I did struggle with because the hair that they gave us with the vampires, it was so like emo. Like, look at this hair. It didn't scream like gothic to me at all. It screamed like young vampire, and I wanted him to be a more seasoned older vampire, so I was looking for something maybe that, you know, older vampires would wear, and I did, and eventually, find it in that hairstyle. I found myself using a lot of the vintage glamour stuff with these vampires because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand because vampires are kind of they're like older, you know, and more vintage and more class. And you know, I'm not saying that like in the 2010s we don't really have class anymore, but we're definitely a lot more casual, and the formal looks were just handed to me with the glamour pack. And I was like looking for something to kind of hollow out his cheeks, which is why I went into the blush. I was seeing if like they could do like black contour to make his cheeks look more worn and hollowed, but I couldn't find anything. So as you can see, like I just gave him a nice like suit, like a button down with a nice little frilly bow. But here I'm picking out his traits. Like I said, he's gonna be gloomy. I was gonna make him a foodie, but I was like, oh, he just sucks blood, he doesn't really eat food. So I also made him a snob, and then I decided to make him an art lover, like a connoisseur of the arts, or a patron of the arts is what it's called. Just really classy, really seasoned vampire, which sucks because whenever we actually play the game, he's not gonna have any vampire skill, but he's supposed to be like this really stern father who wants the family to live a certain way, and him and his daughter might not have the best relationship because she's gonna try to defy it a lot, and the mom might be like, no, don't, like it's okay, just let her do her thing or something like that. And as you can see, I gave him the most like the scariest teeth that I could find. So his vampire form and his dark form is very creepy. I end up adding more facial things. You guys will see that in a bit. But I also wanted to give him glasses. And I was like, oh, that's nice. He's like super classy with all the glasses. And then he gets like super scary. And I'm really excited to play with these vampires, guys. I'm going to work really hard. And of course, his aspiration is the new vampire aspiration of wanting to be the master vampire. Like, just be the best. And I gave him the creepy walk because, let's be honest, somebody needed the creepy walk. I then adjusted their voices, which you guys will hear during gameplay. That's just me doing this right now, just barely touching things. And I am in love with Isabelle. I think that she is so cute. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was making her and I was like, oh yes, her name, that's an Isabelle. That's a perfect name. But then the rest I kind of randomized. Like, for example, I randomized last name until I came across Royal. And I was like, oh, that's perfect, Royal. I like that. Because they are kind of gothic and fancy and royal. So I thought it was the perfect name. And then it was not hard for me to find out like what I wanted these names to be. And I named him Robin. Like, I flipped through it and I was like, oh, that's perfect, because he kind of does look like Robin, like Batman's sidekick, just a little bit because of his hair. So I decided that would be fine. And then I decided, oh wait, I should look at their other things. And then that's when I went in and changed like their formal and all that stuff. But I am going to skip that for now. I went back and I added more like furrowed brows and just a more serious look to the dad. I forgot that we could add the eyebrows and wrinkles and stuff like that, so it definitely helped his seriousness more, since I said that I was struggling with that. And then, you know, you can just see all the Sims in their little family portrait. I did upload this to the gallery this morning, not right now whenever you're seeing this, so I will put a link to that in the description down below of where it is and how you can find it on the gallery if you are interested in that. And this is pretty much the end of the video. Like I said, you guys, I am going to be doing a live stream later today with the family, building them a house. I might move them into a house and then edit the house, honestly. But as you can see, I am throwing them into Forgotten Hollow right about now, and I am so excited. So please, you know, hang out, subscribe, leave a comment if you guys are excited for what is to come with The Sims Vampires. And I will talk to you guys a little bit later today. Bye!